Hi everybody, this is Odd Samuna, and today I'm going to be reacting to One Piece chapter 1154. I'm late on this one, but it is what it is. I'm not sure if we're getting a chapter this week. Actually, I could just check right now. Jump below. Let's just go to the main One Piece. Yep, July 20. Okay, so yeah, there is a chapter this week. So I'm gonna react to it on Sunday. Yeah, okay. So usually I would just be like, let's just do the two chapters back to back. But I heard that 1154 is a pretty big one. So I'd rather focus in on that alone on this video. But yeah, in regards to like 1153, I don't really have much new to say about it, really. I like, oh my god, what's her name? Ida? Yeah, let's call her Ida, because I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the I. Yeah, so, I mean, I was gonna say, like, Harold gets, a bit of a misunderstanding of her situation when he first sees her. But, like, how could he not, right? With the way that she was in a cage. So, yeah, it's like, she's perpetrating bad stereotypes about giants. Of course, is to like get food and shelter, but you know, she's still doing it, even if it's fake. Since she was wearing horns, fake ones, in the cage, but as we see later, those are not like actually part of her body. So even more so is like a stereotype of giants with ancient giant blood in them, which Harold is or was one of them. And well, Harold, before he met her, he was pretty much quite the menace and just causing havoc and looking down on people simply because, well, they're weaker and smaller than me, so why should I treat them with any kind of respect, right? So Ida teaches him that no, that's the wrong way to see things. And I love this line from her. Just because you happen to be born huge and are coincidentally strong and brutish, you actually think that makes you better than humans? How can you be so arrogant? It's pathetic. And yeah, I agree. It's not exactly, but it's similar to the way that that a lot of humans and celestial dragons treat the fishmen. Like, they see themselves as so much more better than them, even though they just happened to be born that way. That's just how it is. They can't help their genetics, obviously. But yeah, right after that she says, "This is why everyone thinks that all giants are as barbaric and brutish as Elbaf." Which is interesting considering, like I said, she was helping continue to foster that image of giants herself. Even if it was a farce, it has still led people to believe that's how giants are. But yeah, I like that. Then we see Harold really get quite affected by it and actually goes and helps repair the town that he destroyed for, you know, because he thought that she didn't want to be there. Yeah, there's that panel where the giants are doing the Nika dance, and we have, I'm pretty sure it's Ida saying, "Nothing in the world is meant to be destroyed." So like you could take this line like literally, like Ida is like such a pacifist that she doesn't want anything to be destroyed ever if she could help it. Or it's just, a general, like, just be kind, like, you treat others the way that you would wish to be treated. So I don't know. We'll see, because it is not dead yet in the flashback. Hell, I'm not even. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Like, you could assume that she's dead in the present, but with all the. If we haven't seen her die, then there's a possibility she's still alive. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wonder if she changes her mind about this later, or if she's gonna stick to her ideals. Also, I did not remember here when they say, "You cross the serpent of blood?" You mean the red line? That was mentioned way back, I think, in Little Garden by Dorian Broggie, when they kill the big fish to let the Straw Hats leave the island. They called it the Serpent of Blood. So that's neat. Yeah, we have this little montage, and then he gets back to Elbaf, where he's all like, we're changing our ways. Elbaf needs to change the way that we treat other nations. We need to stop being so hung up on, just fighting, just, for the sake of fighting. And people are like wary of it, but it doesn't seem like anyone's like super against it. And then we get this, that he's forbidden from marrying Ida. The royal line must remain of pure blood. And we have this like silhouettes representing the elders, the council of Elbaf. Which, yeah, interesting, considering they're the only ones depicted like this in the whole chapter. So, I don't think they're supposed to be like characters, but just, a representation of the outdated values and traditions of Elbaf that Harold, for some reason, just feels like he cannot go against. Like, it's not that it's these people specifically that he can't go against, but rather the idea of the old values of Elbaf. The bad aspects of their culture, which is, like I said, I'm still conflicted about this in regards to like his character, because he's willing to change a lot about Elbaf, but not this, even though it should be very important to him, because how much he loves Ida, and I would guess Hydudin as well. But yeah, he says they they can't, and Ida is very accepting of it. Then we get introduced to Estrid. She's well, she's pretty one-dimensional, which is like my one nitpick of the chapter. Like, she's just so shallow and very only looking out for herself, that it's just so hard to like try and see any depth in her. But yeah, like, she says all these things about like like superstitions and stuff, geomancy or whatever. But I think it's just like that might exist, but I think she's just making stuff up to get what she wants and get out of things that she doesn't want to do. Like being a mom to Loki. It's still one of the worst parents in One Piece. Good lord, like, you think people like Judge or like Baby Five's mom were horrible, and then Astrid just gets introduced. But yeah, this part when we have the Prince of Elbaf grasped for the empty air, but no hands reached out to envelop his own. It's still one of my favorite scenes in the arc so far. Oh, and then we see him climbing to get back up. Oh, my heart. I just know that I'm gonna end up loving Loki by the end of the flashback. Like, I really liked him, but I didn't love him. Also, interesting to note here in the last page, Hydudin and Ida, when, like, even before even meeting him, Hydudin already does not like him. And he's just judging him by the actions of his mom. And even though Ida doesn't agree with, that attitude, she still very much spoils Hydudin. But yeah, it seems like, to me anyway, that Estrid makes up the prophecy about Loki being this, child of like just misfortune. So yeah, let's get to 1154. So I might have gotten spoiled. So like I saw Taking 101's thumbnail for the review, and then I saw Murphy's, and they both had like, so his had the silhouette we all know for rocks, and then Murphy had a character that looks like it could fit the silhouette. So if that character does end up being rocks, then I did get spoiled. Okay, 1154 is titled Can't Even Die. Oh, that's gonna be, we're continuing with the sadness, huh? Okay, volume 38 of the cover story. Go pay your respects at the grave of the hero, born in the West Blue and raised in Ringo. The hero? Are they talking about Ryuma? Okay, so Kiku right now still, following Yamato after they, I'm guessing, hugged. Ulti just, doing stuff with the snowball. There's page 1. I'm not sure who the one next to Yamato is. Ocho, I think? Also, I noticed that Kiku's cloak has very much the same symbol that page 1 and Ulti have. And they're pretty much Yamato's servants slash retainers. So, you know, I'm not, well, we'll see what's up with that. Okay. 63 years ago. Okay, so Big Mom was there. Chief Joro, the partner of Chief Jaro, oldest of the giants today, Beardful Jorul was killed by a young girl. Yep, I remember. The girl, a human, half destroyed an entire giant village. Her name was Charlotte Linlin. Why are we? Okay, I was gonna say like, why are we? Why are we? I can't speak. What's wrong with me? Why are we using past tense here? Like, are we confirming that she's dead? But no, I just, you know, it's just because it's a flashback. She would later be known as Big Mom, Emperor of the Sea. As it happened in that very same year, Elbeth was afflicted by disaster after disaster, fires, gales, and cold snaps that affected their crops, and poor fishing holes as a result of the extreme weather that brought this normally fertile land to the brink of starvation. Okay. You see, it's because of the child. Okay, yeah. Man. Oh, I really wish someone had killed Estrid in a very slow and painful way. The kingdom is now under its curse because you didn't kill it like I told you to. But surely that's a coincidence. Okay. Oh, baby Loki. Ah, it's looking at me. Yeah, Prince Loki. Kick it out. Don't let that monster near me ever again. Yeah, Prince Loki, you must not approach your mother's chambers. Good lord, why is this so sad? Like, I know it's a One Piece backstory, but couldn't Loki have at least a few years of happiness before tragedy started? Like, at least Kuma had, you know, his tragedy didn't start from the moment he was born. Jesus. Seeing him cry just making, like, immediately makes me teary-eyed. Put out the beast's eyes or this country's ruin. It's all under a curse. God, can she shut the hell up? No. No, Loki. Wow, I'm hungry. I'm sorry, sweetie. That was the last loaf of bread we had. Should we go raiding? It would be easy to take from the humans. That's part of Elbeth's history, isn't it? Don't be a fool. Elbeth has always fought with pride. That's just a story we tell ourselves. Ooh, interesting. That's just a story we tell ourselves. Huh. Okay. So, Elbeth warriors being all about pride. It may not be historically accurate then. It's just something that started recently, maybe. Or just, you know, particular giants every once in a while are like that. Like Dorian Broggy. The Huntsman village is attacking us. What? Them? They've taken out other villages too. Grab your weapons, don't let them pillage us. At this time, Elbeth had little internal cohesion and cooperation. And Harold was still not back, right? From his travels? Civil wars were not uncommon. With the desperate food situation, the fighting only grew worse and many died. The country was plunged into chaos, and over time, From what I heard, the prince at the castle is accursed. Oh no. The people grew sick within their hearts. Hang on. Hydelin? Hey, Hydelin, your brother has put a curse on this land. He's trying to kill it. Huh? You're his brother, so you must be a sacrifice. Oh my lord. So, okay. Like, yeah, we saw, that short flashback of, Loki calling Hydelin, like, you're of lesser blood or something, so therefore you shouldn't be here. But I feel like even before Loki could even say anything to Hydelin to earn his resentment, just what other people did because of Loki's existence, it had already informed Hydelin's opinion of him in a very unfair way. I mean, Hydelin was still pretty young, so I wouldn't blame him, but man, that's yeah, that's unfortunate. Huh? Why? My son is the cutest, sweetest boy in the world, and that means he's gotta live to be the oldest boy in the world. Shut up, Ida. You had no right to seduce Harold like that, outsider. Oh my god. You shut up. Love has no borders. Don't touch my mom. Oh man. Ooh, don't make me pound you. King Harold. Oh my god, finally. Daddy. Harold. Why did you turn on one another, my brethren? Your Majesty. Yo, that was some incredible timing. Both of them could have died right then and there if Harold didn't show up. In the same breath that I heard about the birth of Loki, I learned that my kingdom was suffering from starvation. I went at once to the countries with which we have ties, and without a single word, they went and loaded up their ships with massive piles of food. Each human has but a tiny body, but they banded together country after country and brought enough food to fill our giant bellies. Okay, but did he tell the people that he was doing that? I'm not so sure. If he did, then, well, I mean, like, yeah, they're still at fault, but people can do some pretty cruel things in desperation to stay alive. But yeah, I really like that. It's so, like, I just love seeing, just acts of kindness being returned like this. Let us be grateful for their aid. We're here, Harold. Hey, how do we dock at this island? Yeah, haha, it's enormous. Let us savor the food they brought us. And when they, in turn, need our help, let us give it freely. The world we've lived in is so much smaller than the real thing. Oh, I love that. The world we've lived in is so much smaller than the real thing. Yeah. It's a big thing that Elbaf is not as isolated as Wano, but it's still very much like, and not very familiar with the way that the rest of the world acts or thinks. Okay. Shortly before Harald's return, Queen Astrid passed away. Shortly before, damn. I wish someone had killed her, but at least she died. And to her dying breath, she spitefully blamed the kingdom's ills on the curse of Loki, her own son. I don't know what to make of Harald's reaction here, you know? We did not see at all his relationship with Astrid. Literally every time we saw her talk to him, he just looked a little bit lost and confused and, you know, a little awkward about the whole thing. So yeah, that's her being one-dimensional, and also, like, to me, they didn't, or rather, Oda didn't really show Harald, like, forming a bond with her. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. But he could be crying because of the way that she treated Loki, and he couldn't do anything about it. Naturally, the people believed that the curse was responsible for her death. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Loki already has the bandages. So I thought he would have been like, I don't know, at least a toddler. Or like, you know, like 6, 7. For him to realize how people see him and what they think of his eyes. So he would put on the bandages himself due to his insecurity. But no, it seems like people already put the bandages on him. Okay. I mean, it still works, but you know, I would have preferred it a little bit more if it was, you know, the way I was thinking. But anyway, Loki, my son, he seemed happy to see him. He was born with the affliction of the eyes, I'm afraid. Though he can see, I assure you. But how can he see with the bandages, though? That's still my question. Can you smile? I suppose not, after losing your mother. That's not... Man, Harold saying that, I'm like... Clearly there must be a misunderstanding here. Like, did he not know how Astrid treated him? Like, there's no way he could say that if he knew. With the extreme way she rejected him. At just a few months old, Loki abandoned any hope for love. Oh my god. As just a few months old baby, Loki was like, no one is ever gonna love me. Wow. He's got a lot of bruises. Well, did they explain it? Oh man. Oh man, can we every time we focus on Loki, I'm like, can we stop? I don't need to cry right now. Meanwhile, Harald's diplomatic ties paid off and Elbaf survived its long winter. Branch Route 1? That's right, it will promote friendship and trade between villages. But between rebuilding the shattered country and his many foreign trips, Harald was tremendously busy. Horrid thing. And so the care of Loki fell to his regent, Astrid's older brother. Okay. let me reach the end of the chapter, but I'm having opinions about Harold as a father. It's dangerous down here. This is the underworld. No, the sea separates us from the underworld. The beast cannot reach us here. You're gonna do your warrior's training with Elbow in the Western Village, right? I'll stop by on the way home. Cute. If only Loki had like a third of this love. Imagine if Loki was entrusted to Ida. Like, yeah, I mean, Hyodin would not like it, but I feel if that was the case, you know, if he was given to her from the moment that he was thrown out, that he was almost killed by Estrid, I feel like things would have turned out somewhat differently. Fishermen, the shipwreck pirates, all comers are welcome here. This is Ida's bar. Wait, is this the bar that, you know, this is the same bar, right? That we first met Colin in when he was talking to Shanks? This was Ida's first? I just hope it helps Harold somehow. That's so sweet of you to be worried about me, though. 56 years ago, Gerald's home. Okay. That's like... Last time we got a number was 63, so 9 years. Got it. Wait, my math is not pretty good. 63, 3... actually, no. It would be 13 years, right? I think so. So, you were there for the incident at the Reverie, Harold? Yes, I asked a fellow royal to help me slip inside as a soldier. But in the end, the council would not hear me out. Oh. So he was not properly invited. If not for the uproar about that murder, I might have been imprisoned. Okay. That word is in bold font, so gotta remember that. If you were lucky, you'd only be in chains. That was reckless of you. Did he kill someone? Like, if you were lucky, you'd only be in chains. Say, have you ever heard the Galilab band? That group of hardy giant shipwrights. Hammer-wielding warriors, right? I thought they were a myth. No, they most certainly existed. They traveled to the distant shores and sent a letter back to Elbaf from afar. It said, "We have all been taken prisoner." Can you believe that? Who could have possibly captured 100-strong company of our kind, with ancient giants among them to boot? 63 years ago. I don't have a good guess. No, 56. Maybe? Let's keep reading. You think the world government did that? It's clear that we had a great enemy at some point in the distant past. Okay, I guess it's clear to the person you're talking to, but not to me. But all of that history was sunk under the sea one day. Oh? Under the sea. The ancient kingdom? My point is, your failure to win them over might not be your fault. Some ancient enmity? I've heard stories on the wind about an army of giants put on ice and hidden somewhere. Ho. And that's making me think of the giant straw hat in Marijua. In any case, never forget that we have long been a threat to the rest of the world. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Oh, Prince Loki, killer of my beloved sister. Oh, this guy. Let's see, what rotten scraps shall I feed you today? Oh no, the Loki horse is dead. Yup. Another bad thing that's just conveniently blamed on Loki. Oh no, the regent is dead, down in the underworld. That's a cool way to show time passing. We're just focusing on Loki's expression. And the last one, he's smiling. 48 years ago, Harold built 8 branches routes in Elbaf, unifying the country and creating a vibrant trade between villages. My dream is for us to be connected to every country and for giantkind to be able to live all across the world. You're the best king, Harold. I can scarcely remember how he used to be. Harold is now king for the ages. Well, he might be a good king, but his parenting is just not there. Why do you look so pleased, Hydudin? You're not the king's real son. Loki's our only prince. What? As if they would ever let Loki be the king. You're just a bastard. Ooh. Oh man. That's so tragic. Well, I mean, maybe not necessarily tragic. There's still a chance for Loki and Hydudin to make amends in the present. But just the way that this, the people of Elbaf poisoned the view of each other is just really sad. Like, they both have what the other wishes they could have. Oh man. But, yeah, okay. Look out, King Harold has gone on another one of his trips. You know what that means. Bolt your doors, bring the children indoors. Come on, boys, destroy them! This is Elbaf, land of the mighty. The weak don't deserve to live. Loki, meanwhile, caused harm and destruction. That's my boy right there. That's so deserved. He's so valid for that. That's my boy. And mocked those who ran from him. Hey, Loki. Don't mess up the village Dad worked so hard to rebuild. Huh? He's my dad, not yours. So this is how their first meeting went. I'm guessing. Like, it's not confirmed that this is the first time they talk to each other, but this is what it feels like to me. That guy might get a lot of respect to be... Oh, but he tries to be friends with those tiny little bug humans. It's so stupid. You have to see everyone at the same eye level. Don't think you're special just because you're big. Yeah, definitely Ida taught him that. I'm special because I'm the prince. Don't ever talk back to me again, shrimp. Oof. Yeah, well, not at all surprised that Loki would act like this. At this point, he's already, like, given up on people trying to understand him, show him affection. So this is, his way of lashing out. He doesn't have any love, really. Sure, Harold might have love for him, but he never shows it. He's always away. So the only thing he has to cling to right now is, well, he's the prince by blood. And that's the only thing he has right now, so of course he would take pride on it. Hayden, stay away, Gert, or Loki will think we're friends with him. And then he'll hate us. We are friends with him, dummy. Okay. So maybe not the first time that they talk to each other. But at the very least, from Gert's point of view, she considers Loki a friend, so she must have already talked to him and interacted with him multiple times. Hayden, are you okay? Quick, help him. Oh, yep, look at Loki. Him trying to, like, cling to the one thing he has, which is that he's the prince. So it's like, everyone should at least respect me for that. Should pay attention to me for that. And yet they all go to hide it in. That's so sad. Haha, you little creep, you're a loser, hide it in. Look at you weaklings licking each other's wounds. The son of a mother with tainted blood. That's where that's from. That's when that happened. There's like a, a drop of a liquid in Loki's cheek. And it could be sweat, but I think you could also interpret it as a tear. Obviously it's very, very different. But I'm thinking right now of Luffy with Sanji and Whole Cake. You might have kicked me, or in this case, hit me, but that really hurt you more than me. Yeah, this is Loki literally just lashing out. And insulting Hayden because, well, what else does he have? Of course, he sees Hayden and he wants to reject everything that he is. Why? Because if it wasn't for Hayden and his mom, then maybe his dad would show him more love. But it's just not how it is. I don't know, it's a little complicated to explain. Your Highness, that's enough. He's the king's son as well. He's a prince. Don't call him a prince. Yep. Of course he doesn't want Hayden to have that. That's the only thing he has that he can cling to and say that's his. But no matter how much he harmed and destroyed, Loki could never fill the hole at the center of his being. Okay, well, if I could not explain it, then the narrator definitely put it succinctly into words. Yep. Yeah, it was destruction and violence. Trying to fill the hole in his heart that is devoid of affection and kindness that has not been given to him. Oh man. Oh yeah. This lady with her child that Loki, I think, hit. He's in the verge of crying. he throws himself off into the underworld and starts crying. I can't even die. Although why? Yeah, this is just literally a little kid who's so desperate to get any kind of attention and has given up on people giving him love. So he's just like, okay, I'm not gonna get any love, alright. And then this is what you get in return then. You're gonna treat me like crap, and then I'll treat you like crap. But, you know, that's not satisfying. That doesn't bring him any happiness anyway. This child trying to die because no one sees any value in him. Like, yeah, like I said, Harold seemed happy when he first saw him, but, you know, what's the point if he's always neglecting him? Oh man, yo, he's having big Robin parallels right now. Baby boy. Oh, okay. What's up with this island? Where did you get inland? Oh, there we go. Look, it's a giant kid. So this must be Elbeth. Oh, and they found him in a really vulnerable moment too. No wonder that moment was so significant to him. Gee ha ha ha, this one looks positively demonic. Oh, stop. It seems too big even for a giant. Is he crying? This man whom yo, I need the rock spirits to, I don't know, I was gonna say be less cruel, but I don't think I'm gonna get that. At the very least, we know that Whitebeard at the end was like, yo, you really overdid it with that kid. This man who Harold met at the Reverie 8 years earlier. What? He was at the Reverie? Killed at Navy headquarters admiral and fled. Okay. Now the government has placed a heavy venting on his head. Sorry, I can't read properly. Give me a second. Okay. Alright, Brad. You're gonna say yes twice, because that's the answer I want from these questions. Question 1. Is this Elbeth, land of the giants? Question 2. Is Harold here? Rocks D. Civic. Oh man, I was spoiled. God damn it. Well, okay. So we finally have how Rocks looks like. You know, he's surprisingly, I was gonna say surprisingly or unsurprisingly, because I feel like people have already made theories in this, but he looks quite a bit like Blackbeard. His facial structure is so similar. The eyes, the mouth, the nose. Come on. Blackbeard has to be related to him in some way. I like his hair. Wait, future captain of the Rocks Pirates, father of Blackbeard. Why is there such a big, such a big gap between Off and Blackbeard? That's suspicious. Also, why use Blackbeard? Why not Marshall D. Teach? Also, so is he... Does Black... Oh, sorry, I feel like I did not have a big enough reaction to already... to Brock's already being confirmed in his introduction that he's the father of Blackbeard. But yeah, seeing his face, I'm like, yeah, that totally tracks. But yeah, I'm still like, wow, all that just told us right away from the moment we got to see his face. But like, does Blackbeard know that Rux was his father? I mean, he's definitely following on his footsteps, but does he know? So like, you know, otherwise why is he using the last name Marshall instead of Rocks? I feel like he would be proud to have that last name. So yeah, something to think of. But yeah, I'm still overwhelmed with emotion over baby Loki. Like that's my boy right there. Like, can all that stop making him suffer? Oh man, I'm already getting teary-eyed again. How? Well, when, you know, we have a small sense of what's gonna happen between Loki and Rox, and we know he's gonna leave him in a pool of his own blood. So already not fond of how Rox is gonna treat Loki. So the suffering is gonna continue. But there's definitely something about Rox that is gonna impact Loki in a big way. I mean, certainly it's gotta be, you know, something about his policy in regards to, like, weaklings that Loki has taken as a big coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm glad that I only did this one chapter in this video. Because it is a big one. I don't know. I could try and, like, you know, discuss Loki's mentality and, you know, psyche, but I feel like the narrator did a wonderful job with just that one line. No matter how much he harmed and destroyed, Loki could never feel the hole at the center of his being. And like, that's him, right? That's Loki in a nutshell so far. And that's why that's why I want Luffy to give him a place where he's gonna be accepted and loved. You know, someone who does not care at all about what your past is, but what your present is. I want him to ask Loki, you know, what do you really want? You don't really want to be, you know, destroying the world. You just want people to accept you and love you as who you are. Like, there's so much potential for the Loki and Luffy dynamic. And if the climax to his character arc is something like that, for one, I'm gonna be crying so much. But also, it's gonna elevate Loki so much as a character too. Like he's already like a potential low favorite of mine in the series. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. For now though, I think that's all I have to say. And my vocal cords are also getting tired, so if you enjoyed my reaction, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.